Hey everyone, welcome to this special workshop we've got for you today. We're going to be talking about a $25,900 sale, and we're going to dissect it to show you what it was made up of, other astonishing case studies, unseen software conversion strategies, sales funnels, and how you can tap into a globally proven business model which has the potential to generate 7 figures profit each year from as little as 65 sales. I'm really pumped up about this. I'm excited. I have a tendency to talk a little bit fast when I get excited, so if I start going too fast for you, just let us know in the question box, but just know that it's because I'm pumped up here. So what we're going to be covering are sales funnel strategies that anyone can use to turn leads into buyers like clockwork, no matter what type of business you're running. A software tool that we've used to dramatically increase conversions in our business. You'll be one of the first people to ever get a glimpse of this. Incredible case studies, including how we generated $15,379 from a boat lifting company, okay? And we'll also be revealing how you can use them to tap into a globally proven business model which has the potential to generate 7 figures profit each year from as little as 65 sales. And we've got much, much more as well. If you're excited to be here and looking forward to this content, give me a 1 in the question box. And I want to see, well, I hope all of you are excited. And if you haven't actually used the question box yet, please go ahead and use that to make sure it's all working for you there. Okay, lots of 1s flying in. Okay, fantastic. Great. Wow, awesome. We've got a big audience here today. Now, I know some of you have been on workshops with us before. Some of you haven't. Quick background, and we'll dive into this. My name is Aidan Booth. I'm from New Zealand originally. I live in Buenos Aires, Argentina. Nowadays, I started online in 2005 because I was chasing the dream of having geographic freedom. And the thing that I care about most of all nowadays is time freedom. You can see a picture of my wife and my 2 children there, a 2-year-old son and my 2-month-old daughter. And that's why I care about time freedom. They are the reason I get up in the morning. They're the reason that I'm always trying to, build a better business to give me more of that freedom so I can enjoy life with them. Now, Steve, you come from a completely different background. Why don't you cover that quickly for everyone who hasn't been on one of our workshops before?
Sure, absolutely. Unfortunately, I've got a few more gray hairs than the picture on the left. My kids are quite a bit older. I'm on my second career. So I was in corporate for just shy of 20 years, and I ended my career as a vice president for a Fortune 500 company. So, when you have a position like that, you're treated pretty well, or at least financially treated pretty well. But, I had absolutely no time freedom, no geographic freedom, nothing like that. And I was just miserable. I mean, stone cold miserable. And it wasn't really what I wanted to do with my life. I mean, I had always been a frustrated entrepreneur. I'd considered myself an entrepreneur, even though I hadn't even started a business, really. So I just decided that I was going to pursue my dreams and became a serial entrepreneur many years ago, and haven't had to have a real job since and regret nothing. So.
Right. Well, guys, I think it's important that you know who's talking to you because, we have been around the block a few times here. We've got something like 28 years of combined online marketing experience, and we're going to be sharing some of that with you today. Now, what makes this different is what we're doing here. We do this every day. This has been one of our core businesses for, over a decade now. And 99% of people ignore the business model that we're talking about today, although it's the most consistent way to make money online. Now, not only that, but it's the most profitable of our portfolios of 6 different multi-million-dollar businesses. I mean, the profit margins are upwards of 70%, and that's a big deal, as we're going to talk about here shortly. And you don't need to worry about competition, traffic, coding, investment, and any of the other common roadblocks. These common roadblocks are the reasons why some people make $50,000 per month or more and others make 0, okay? So now they've been removed, making money becomes much faster and much easier, and here's why. You can copy what already works and keep it simple. You follow a process demonstrated from start to finish with simple steps that are easy to replicate, and we'll get to these in just a second, with any complex task or hurdles completely eliminated. You have clear action steps. The best way to encourage someone to keep going is to give them clear action steps. This is what you get. And we break down a process into manageable step-by-step plan to help you see the finish line and get excited about reaching it. And you set high-value, short-term goals that can be achieved in days or weeks, not months or years, realistic and achievable goals, exceptionally valuable goals that have the potential to be life-changing. We find short-term financial goals encourage people to keep moving forward. And here's why we're excited. We have something very unique to show you that combines these solutions to create a business opportunity that delivers near inevitable results, even if you've got zero experience. And this is because you don't need to create or buy any physical products or invest in any inventory. Okay? There are no barriers to entry or complicated technical hurdles to overcome. You simply follow the process to create an incredible revenue stream, and you build a real business that could be sold on for a large multiple of your profits later. So it's actually worthwhile in the long run as well. And then on top of all this, you get partnership. Now, this is a twist that we're going to be telling you about later in the call. In the past, we've taught great business models. Some people have done very, very well with them, but others have fallen at various hurdles along the way. So we decided to do something that people have been asking us to do for years, and that is to combine the perfect business model with partnership. And what this does is it gives you the greatest chance of success. Now, the business model that we're talking about today, I just want to give you a little bit of a warning here. It may seem quite simplistic at first, but as you'll discover, the opportunity is vast. So make sure you listen very carefully to the details here. What we're doing is we are providing simple web solutions and services to small businesses, but with a couple of very unique twists, and we'll get onto these shortly. So why is the opportunity so vast? The reason it's so vast is because you only need 7 customers to hit this $100,000 per profit run rate. And in 90 seconds time from now, we're going to show you the 3-step process to actually doing this. But first of all, what do we mean by services? Services that are simple but critical to small businesses. These are the services that we're talking about. They're highly valuable to the small businesses that need them. Services that help these small businesses achieve more search engine visibility, more social media exposure, along with better looking and more reliable web presence. These services will result in 3 things for the customer: more web traffic, more customers, and more revenue. And these 3 things are the lifeblood of these small businesses that we're talking about here. So who is the end customer? Well, it's the local gym, it's the dry cleaning service, it's the pool cleaner, it's the dentist, it's the hair salon, it's the builder, it's the pizza parlor, it's the limo company, it's the wedding planner, it's boat rental, it's the plumber, it's landscaping. These are the types of people that are willing to pay large amounts of money for the valuable service that we've got to offer. And it makes it very, very simple, and it's very stable and secure. And you can see a couple of screenshots on here showing how one of them shows how we're getting $1,200 month after month after month for a simple service. Another one is a PayPal screenshot, actually not ours, that's from one of our students. And this has been our bread and butter business for over a decade. In fact, it was the first thing that Steve did when he started online way back in 2003. So going on 15 years, as well as many of our students, and they've built $500,000 per year business models using this as well. So it's been our bread and butter. It's been an amazing source of income for our students as well, and it can be for you too, because these businesses, they want to pay. As customers and revenue are clearly the most important thing to any small business, this means they'll be very happy to pay thousands of dollars to get the services done for them. And they don't have the knowledge or the inclination to do these things themselves. I mean, most small business owners, they're too busy worried about running their business to worry about the likes of, a web service that they might need, which is exactly why they hire people like us. So providing true value here that gets them real-world results and keeps them in business, it's win-win. And I want you to know right now that this is something that is absolutely an online business. Okay, this is something that you can be running. You can be making sales and running it while you're sitting on, a paradise beach somewhere or in the jungle in Thailand. It's absolutely that kind of a business. And you'll see why in just a second. and it's win-win. Now, the potential is huge. This is our business scaled down to 7 sales. So with 7 sales doing what we're talking about here today, the net profit of our business would be $116,000. The profit margin is amazing. You can see a whole bunch of different, well, you probably can't see them that well, but there's a whole bunch of different earnings screenshots showing the type of money that we're making there. And I want to put this in perspective because $116,000 might not seem like that much money, but that's equivalent to earning over $500,000 on Amazon because of the profit margin, okay? And what would you rather do? What's the most important thing? Is it how much money ends up in your pocket, or is it how much money the business generates? It's how much money that ends up in your pocket, okay? It's the profit, not the revenue. So net profit of $116,000, that's equivalent to over $580,000 in revenue on Amazon. And it scales nicely. 15 sales puts you at $242,000. You can see a check there for $4,050. We got that check just a few days ago. But let's not lose track of the aim. The aim is to hit $100,000 profit run rate from 7 customers, then keep scaling that to $100,000, $300,000 and beyond. And a $1 million business is within your grasp here, because you can get that with 65 sales, and you can't do that with any other business that we know of. So 3 very, very, very important points. You don't have to meet with anyone. Remember, I said a moment ago that you can be in the jungle in Thailand running this business if you want to be. You use automated, hands-off online campaigns to generate sales. Key point. Number 2, you don't need any internet marketing knowledge because true experts will be delivering these services on your behalf, and we'll explain more about that shortly. And you don't need money to start. As long as you've got an internet connection and a computer, that's all you'll need. So how do you get your first 7 customers and hit that $100,000 run rate then? We use a simple 3-step process. The first step is to generate targeted leads with high-value lead magnets, and I'll give you an example of one of these in just a second. The second is to turn those leads into customers using an automated system, and I'll give you an example of this in just a second. And thirdly, it's to deliver simple services, which, as you will find out soon, you won't need to do yourself, okay? So let's talk about step 1 right now. But before I do that, are you following along okay, guys? Is this making sense? Give me a 1 in the question box if we're going at a good pace here, because we're about to get into the real meat of this, and I want to make sure that everyone is following along. So, yep, perfect. Okay, great, fantastic. Thanks for the feedback there, guys. So step number 1 is to generate targeted leads. And the very first thing that you need is traffic, okay? And this is the same for any business. Now, what we use is free traffic. And we use a range of different free traffic methods that target people who have the best chance of converting into customers. Now, it's organic, but it's fast and it's easy. And we're not chasing highly competitive search terms, and that's one of the reasons why it's so fast. And because the kind of things that we're targeting are very specific, and what we call in the industry, we call them long tail, low volume search terms, they're the most profitable. No one else is targeting them, which means that you can easily tap into them. And in this business model, long tail keywords are the most lucrative, okay? So fast and easy, the traffic is a non-issue, but it's not only about driving traffic. You need to convert the traffic. Now, half the job with converting the traffic is done because of the way that we're finding the traffic. The traffic is highly qualified, but the conversion mechanism is what we call a lead magnet. Now, you may have heard about these before, but I can guarantee you the way that we use lead magnets in this business model is probably unlike what you would have seen in the past. Now, a lead magnet is normally a piece of content that people get in return for their email address. It solves a problem in the most convenient and quickest way possible, and it needs to be as simple and as easy to consume as possible and add relevant value, okay? The goal is not to get as many leads as you can. It's to get the right people who are most likely to turn into customers. That is the goal here. So our lead magnet is built upon proprietary software. This software, you're going to see some screenshots on the very next slide, is amazing, okay? This software automatically audits a lead website and online presence. So a lead's website and online presence. It could be, a restaurant or a hotel or the plumber. It's going to audit their website and it's going to give them important information. It reveals any issues. Then it engages them to take action and use our services to fix and maintain their website and their other web presence and other assets that they may have. Now, this is the first time we have showed this to anyone, and here's what it looks like. The software secures the lead. So this is the kind of report that our proprietary software generates for the customer. So imagine, let's just make this crystal clear. We've targeted organic, free traffic. Very, very targeted. They come and they land on our lead magnet page and they are offered to get this amazing, free, in-depth report. And do you think they want it? Of course they want it, because they know that, you know, the other restaurant across the other side of town is doing so much better than them, and they need this, okay? So they enter their email. Our software then generates this report, and it sends it to them. It's all automated, okay? Now, step 2 is to convert the leads into customers. So we've got some good quality leads right now, right? And guys, can you see how that kind of a report would be of value to a small business? Sometimes, you know, people like us, we are interested in online marketing, and we take those kind of things for granted. But that's a high value report for any small business, okay? So the key to conversion, the majority of people need to see a service or offer multiple times before they take action. And it's the same in any business. The best way of making sure they do is not only by capturing their email, but it's also by following up with them multiple times. And it must be automated. Send leads highly effective conversion content to secure them as customers. Automated email sequences can do this for you. And that's why you can be, you know, in the jungle in Thailand. And all of this is automated from start to finish. Zero work. But these follow-up emails have to be written and delivered in a very specific way, otherwise they will not work. And who here is good at writing sales or promo emails? You know, who's hired a copywriter before? Writing effective emails is difficult, it's expensive, and it's time-consuming for most people. But the good news is that you won't need to do any of this. We have a solution for you, which we'll talk about in just a second, which you will actually be able to use. And with this solution, everything is done for you and automated, okay? And that leads us on to step 3, which is to deliver simple services. And the key word here is simple, okay? 4 services. These 4 services are what provide, you know, probably 90% of the money that we make from this business model. And, you know, coincidentally, and this is really good news, is that they also provide, you know, 90% of the value that the end user would need. So it's win-win for both of us. These are the things that give us the most bang for the buck. But it's also the types of services that make the most difference to the end customer. So we're all, you know, we're all quite aligned doing this. And the first is visibility campaigns. This is about getting more exposure via Google ranking, social media optimization, business directories, LinkedIn, and, you know, the common suspects. Number 2 is website development, design, build, and maintain websites. Number 3 is hosting, so package up hosting plus backups, and we do that in a very special way. And then number 4 is social media content creation, identifying relevant, shareable content. Simple, 4 simple services. And these make up between 80 to 90% of the money that we make, and they've got high margins. Now, there are other things that you can sell as well, but like I say, these things make up the lion's share. Now, don't worry. You won't need to build software. You won't need to know anything about these types of services. As you'll find out in a moment, this can all be taken care of for you. So a recap of the 3 simple steps. 1 is generate targeted leads. Acquire highly targeted leads with money to spend. Okay, so we're not just targeting any old person. We're targeting the right kind of people or business. We're going to turn those leads into customers using an automated system, and we get paid up front. And then we deliver simple services, which, as you'll find out soon, you will not need to do yourself. But let's just reiterate the aim here. The aim is to hit 100,000 profit run rate with just 7 customers, and then keep scaling to 100,000, 300,000, and beyond. So I want to give you a couple of case studies to show how this can be done. And keep in mind that the sales and the screenshots I'm about to show with you were captured and converted using this exact same 3-step process, okay? So let's have a look. The first is $15,379 from a boat lifting company. A boat lifting company. And what we give them is search engine optimization, hosting, and this came from one initial sale. You can see something like 13 or 14 rebuilds there. And it might be a little bit hard to see in that screenshot actually, but all those payments are either for hosting or search engine optimization. The margins are huge, but it's win-win. I mean, this company is thriving. So do you think they're going to stop paying us? Of course not. They're thriving and they're just dominating, right? And we're running it all for them remotely. Another case study, this is from a roofing company. This is a company that does roofing, you know, and look, these are not sexy companies or anything like that. These are just regular companies that need this kind of help, but they don't have people in-house to do it for them, so they hire us. And again, this is a sale that was converted using the simple 3-step conversion sequence that I just showed you. And these guys, $25,900, they get SEO services, they get website design, and they get hosting. That's it. Simple. Now, remember, you do not need to do the work. You are not doing the search engine optimization. You are not doing the web design. You are not setting up the hosting. None of this stuff. Other people do that for you. And this can work for anyone. And I'm going to go through a few examples here. This is Chad. Now, Chad says, this business model has been a game changer for me. In 2018, I made $187,497, and my business is rapidly growing. I have a 64% profit margin and customers who pay me on a recurring basis month after month after month. Chad is one of our mastermind members. You can see a look inside his PayPal account there with $104,000 in it. This is Claudio, and he says, after hitting rock bottom during the 2008-2009 credit crunch, I had to rebuild my life from scratch. Using Steve and Aidan's training, I've built a 6-figure business selling services to local companies. I've made over $29,000 in January, and I'm on track to do $400,000 in 2019. You can see his bank account there. His bank account showing $180,431 in money that he's received. And then here's another one from RP, and RP says, with the help of Aidan and Steve's training, my business, which has an 81% margin, made a profit of $118,000 in 12 months. I love this model. It's by far the simplest of anything I've tried online before, and I've tried several things, and I'm 100% control, not Amazon, not Facebook or Google. That gives me peace of mind. And he's in Ireland. $120 per hour. This is Chris in Canada. I've been offering simple services for years, charging $120 an hour for web design and search engine optimization, which I then offload to someone else and pocket a big profit. Steve and Aidan's training has helped me immensely in my business. I'm on track to make over $40,000 just this month. A great start to 2019 for my family. Now you might be wondering, is there actual demand for this? Don't most small business already have websites and online presence? Actually, you might not believe me, but no, they don't. In fact, the statistics are crazy. 45% of small businesses in the United States do not have a website. It's just insane. It's insane, but this is a reality. Over 2 million small businesses in the UK don't have a website, and GoDaddy actually came in and did the study, and they found that 60% of small companies in the UK do not have a website. And these numbers repeat themselves globally in Canada, Australia, New Zealand, all over the world. All over the world. And 62% of people will ignore small businesses that don't have a website. In fact, they probably won't even find them in the first place. This is vital. Like, having an online presence is almost like a critical thing for offline businesses these days. And this is why local businesses are screaming out for help. They all need traffic. They all need an online presence. And this is why virtually no selling of your services are needed whatsoever. The customer will come to you. And remember, I showed you the way that we find and convert customers. That whole funnel is designed for the customer to come to us. And that's why you can be, anywhere in the world. I mean, you could be snowboarding in the Swiss Alps, or, you know, you could be on a beach in New Zealand somewhere, or wherever you want to be, and this machine is just rolling on. That's the power here. Because business owners are desperate for help, our conversion rates are sky high. I'm talking about securing 1 or 2 sales for every 7 or 8 businesses that come into the top of your funnel. I mean, it's off the charts. It is off the charts. Now, you might be used to, you know, 1% conversion rates on an e-commerce store, or maybe, you know, 5% if you've got a product on Amazon, which, by the way, is probably only going to give you $10 profit for each sale. We're talking about having, you know, a conversion for every 10, or even, you know, 2 conversions sometimes for every 10 that we contact. They come into the top of the funnel does its job, and they come out as sales. And here are a whole bunch of screenshots. I mean, a lot of people still pay us with checks, okay? You can see a bit of other couple of tips for you there. One of those checks, you can see it says Lifestyle Homes on it. That's from a Lifestyle Homes company. We've got another one from a nature recreation reserve, and you know, lots of other screenshots in there as well. The one with the blue on it, that's our one of the different accounting tools that we use, and it just sucks all the money in straight into the account. So we're going to talk about a twist now, and Steve, maybe you want to come in here and just talk about this a little bit.
Yep, absolutely. Just if I could add my 2 cents on the you know, the demand for this service. The best example I always like to give is, you know, when I go to like a gathering anywhere, like a dinner party or, you know, whatever, any kind of gathering in a community, and people find out what I do, I usually am mobbed by the small business owners, you know, or the spouses of the small business owners or the friends of the small business owners, and they're constantly like, oh my God, I need help. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know if I should be on Facebook. Should I be tweeting? You know, why does my competitor show up? All that kind of stuff. So the demand, these people they're so hungry for these services, and they're the best kind of customers to market to, because they absolutely know they have a problem. You know, they're just desperate for help. So, you know, I have to tell you guys that I want to make sure that you really understand the seriousness and the gravity of what we're going to share in this in the couple twists that we have here. I can guarantee you that in the 15 years that I've been in the online world, no one has ever done what we're going to do in just the next couple slides. And that's a pretty bold statement, easily checked, I'm sure. So prepare to be shocked. Just to put it in perspective, I'm guessing that most people know who the guy on the left is, on our left as we're looking at the picture. In the middle, I'm sure everybody knows that's a young Steve Jobs right there, but probably nobody knows who the guy next to him is. And that guy was the 3rd guy into Apple. He was really the first, like, sort of outside investor. So imagine if, you know, you had the opportunity to get into the ground floor or to get into Apple when it first started, or Netflix or McDonald's, or, you know, anything like that. Imagine if you had that sort of opportunity. I can tell you with absolute certainty that that is the kind of thing that we're talking about here today. So, I mean, if that sounds like something that you're interested in, just give me a little interaction here. Give me a yes. Prove to me that you're serious. Give me a yes in the chat box. Let's see a little bit of interaction here. Yep, I got a lot of yeses. I got a lot of yeses with exclamation points. Oh, yeah. All right. Awesome. Thank you. All right. So let's talk about the twists. Here is the first one. First one is when you make a sale, and obviously after you make a sale, you need to deliver services to the customer, you're not going to have to do any of the work. So it immediately takes care of a lot of obstacles, a lot of roadblocks. Our team of experts is going to do the work for you. Now, just stand by, because obviously this is not the shocking part, right? This is a great twist. It's a really important twist. There's a couple more things, elements to this. But what I'm talking about, you might be tempted to think, oh, well, this is just sort of outsourcing. That's not much of a twist. That's not what I'm talking about, okay? We're talking about something fundamentally completely different, which all will be clear in just a minute. But it's not just the services, okay? It's not just the services. In fact, everything is set up. Everything's prepackaged, ready to go, the website, the sales magnets. You don't even need to buy a domain name. Absolutely everything is ready to go for you. Your job is to focus on get 7 sales. Then you could go to the beach, or you could make more sales, or you could hire somebody, you could expand. Look, if you're not doing the actual work that delivers the service, right, then you don't have to worry about your technical ability or, your competency to do any of that. It's completely irrelevant. And the other really, really important thing is that you're not trading, your hours for dollars. You don't want to become an entrepreneur just to build yourself a job, right? You've got to be able to, again, have that freedom. Just go to the beach if you want. All right. So if you're not actually doing the work, then you have a lot more flexibility on that. Okay. Can you give me if you agree that this looks like, for all the reasons that Aiden said and the few that I've talked about, does this sound like the perfect business model? Type in agree if you think it's the perfect business model. Give me agree in the chat box. All right. People putting in yes. Okay. The judges will accept yes. All right. Good. Yep. Absolutely. Yeah, it is. It is. But, Aiden talked about our history of having an impact on people and we're always striving for, okay, well, how can we have, a bigger impact on more people? And even though for all of these reasons, profit margins are high, you only have to deal with a small group of customers, rapid ongoing results, low competition, easy to sell, it's easy to talk about, respectable, although for the reasons I mentioned, you may not want to bring it up at parties because you'll be like the doctor who, everyone's showing him the rash, and like, is this something you're worried about? But there's so many reasons why this is such an amazing and the perfect business model, really. The obstacles, and why this gets over them, and you've seen the incredible demand. Again, these customers are just screaming out, and you don't have to do any of the heavy lifting yourself, right? So all that's good. All that's great. And we do think it's the perfect business model, particularly for people who are just starting out. And it is not coincidentally the first thing I ever did, the first dollar I ever made was from a local small business, a hair salon in Raleigh, North Carolina. The first online dollar I ever made. And it's obviously still a business model I do today, and it is the same for all of the online entrepreneurs that I know. But it's just the tip of the iceberg because I told you we are always looking to have a bigger impact on a larger group of folks. And when we sat down and said we're going to teach this business model, we had 2 choices in front of us. The first one was we could do what we've always done, which is great. We could develop a kick-ass training program, resources, coaching, support, software or tools, all that kind of stuff. We could do what we normally do and have a significant impact on a lot of people. But we had another choice this time, just because of the nature of this business and some other things that happened. So we had another choice that was going to take us down a path that was a lot more risky, a lot more expensive, a lot more complex, a lot more time, energy, and focus that was required of us, and a lot more money. But it had the upside of potentially, having an even bigger impact on even more people. And we went that route. And that's why, although I'm proud of all the things we've done over our 10 years, I am most proud of what we're announcing here today, which is Parallel Profits. And the reason I'm so excited about it and so proud of it and that it's different than anything you've ever seen, I guarantee you, is because we don't just have the kick-ass training program that teaches you how to run this business. That's not enough. We also have this next level of opportunity to partner with us. Now, everybody throws that term around, and it's, partner with us is somewhat ambiguous, I think. But let's clear up the ambiguity 100%. This is what we mean. And this is what no one has ever done before in this space. We are talking about an honest-to-goodness, no kidding, real live, legal franchise. And all of the things that go around that, okay, which I'll talk about. So, the reason that's so exciting is right here. This is right from Entrepreneur Magazine. Other sources confirm it. The success rates for people that start a franchise are greater than 90%. The lowest failure rate of any type of business, period. So, if your mission is to help the most amount of people and have the biggest impact on the most amount of people, this is like right in our wheelhouse, right? So when we sort of started to understand this, even though we understood the enormity of the investments that we'd have to make, we were all over it. It was a no-brainer, and that's why. But this is a big, big deal because just saying that one word, franchise, has a lot of ramifications, okay? A lot of legal, structural, compliance, regulatory. At its core, right, a franchise is just you take an existing, specific, actual business that hopefully is doing well, and you wrap it all up with a bow, and basically you give everything all in one package to franchise owners who buy into the franchise, and that becomes their new business. The easiest example, or perhaps the example that we've all seen, anywhere in the world, is McDonald's. So many of the McDonald's are not owned by the McDonald's Corporation. They're owned by, individual people who have their own companies, okay? And they have a franchise agreement with McDonald's. And so if you have $1 million, you actually need more than that, but let's say it's about $1 million. So you can go to McDonald's and say, all right, here's my $1 million, and I'm going to I want to buy a franchise. So can you help me, pick out my territory? Okay, great. I got my territory. Here's my $1 million. And then they send you to Hamburger University, which is actually right around the corner from me here in Chicago. It's a real thing. And they teach you every single thing there is to know about, running a McDonald's and that whole business. But then over and above that, they also give you all the hamburgers, the nuggets, the napkins, the little boxes, the trash cans, the software that runs the point-of-sale systems, the touch screens, the signage, garbage bags, everything, right? Everything that you need, you get from the franchise company. And then you, all of a sudden, start selling your burgers, taking the money, selling the burgers, and you now have a franchise. So the way that it usually works, like McDonald's, again, to use that example, it started as one store. And it started as a store. It wouldn't even, oftentimes it's not even named the thing it ultimately becomes, right? It happened to be called McDonald's Brothers Hamburger Stand, but it could have just been called the Brothers Hamburger Stand in 1940. And they worked and they perfected the systems, and the product and profit were optimized. And in 1953, they created a global brand called McDonald's, and the branding, the golden arches and all that kind of stuff. And the first McDonald's franchise opens, and 5 years later, they sold their millionth burger. They must be on their, billionth burger now. I don't even know. But it began with a completely different name, and they perfected everything, and then it became a business opportunity. And that's exactly what happened. I mean, similar to what happened right here. I started doing this in 2003. And what usually happens with our businesses is we start them as kind of an incubator, as entrepreneurs, serial entrepreneurs. That's what we're good at, coming up with ideas, starting businesses, growing them, scaling. And then when they get to a certain point, what we normally do, as we've done with our big e-com company and everything, we spin it off to a separate company, and it gets its own, CEO and staff. And so we did that 10 years ago, 11 actually. And then over the last 10 or 11 years, we've, optimized systems and products and built teams, and really just, it's been our bread and butter. It's something that we've always done, which is amazing in the internet world. Doing it for 15 years is like 100 years in the non-internet world, or maybe even 500. And yet now here in 2019, we're going to take that business and we're creating a brand new global franchise company that you have an opportunity to participate in as a franchise owner. This is why that picture of Steve Jobs, what we're trying to get across to you here. So how does this really? So how does this work? With Parallel Profits and the business model we're talking about, we're gonna essentially fast track you to expert status in this model. Think of this as the Hamburger University part of it, okay? And then you become a franchisee, a franchise owner, a real formal legal franchise owner. And in fact, it'll happen in parallel. And we just literally hand you everything you need, just like McDonald's does, to build your own version of the business in partnership with us. So, everything's all set up, prepackaged, ready to go, right on the silver platter. You don't even need a domain name. You're going to get your territory selected. Aiden will talk about that. You'll get set up with all the, automated selling systems, and then you'll be able to go out there and start making sales. And when you do make sales, as we said before, and this is the reason why it all sort of works, right, is we take care of the delivery of the services for you. We've got a team of people ready. We've got actually 3 different teams for redundancy. And it's completely hands-off, and you need zero expertise. So what services are we talking about here? They're usually how it works is somebody will come on board for one-time service, and that's normally some sort of website work, a whole website from scratch, redesigns, rehabs, images or logos, something like that, some sort of web design work. And that's usually a one-time payment, but then it quickly transitions into recurring payments. You'll find that this business model, like Claudio, if you ask him, look, you've been doing this since 2009, how many people are currently just on your books paying you every single month for these recurring revenue services? And I asked them that the other day, and it was 75. It was 75 or 76. And those things are, hosting, security, monitoring just of the website performance and the uptime, just even being aware that it's down and then rebooting the server, whatever it is that it takes, right? A retainer for routine website updates, the plugins, SSL, and then, of course, you've got all the search engine optimization stuff. And there's a bunch of things that aren't even on this slide, reputation management, getting people reviews, doing some CRM work for them. I mean, don't worry if you don't know what those are. But there's a bunch of those things, and they just kind of roll into these recurring services, which is great because retention. Not only are their customer conversions high, so it's easy to get customers, but the retention rate is super, super high. Because they don't want to move, they've got their hosting, you're their webcam. They don't want to move. So what is it that you do as a franchise owner? I mean, one way to answer that is, well, what do you think a McDonald's owner does? They kind of do whatever they want, like however they want to structure their business. It's their business, right? So they maybe could hire a manager to run the store. Maybe they own 4 or 5 different McDonald's, and they have a regional manager for the McDonald's they have in Chicago, the 2 they have in Chicago, and they have a regional manager for the 2 they have in Minneapolis or something, and then they have store managers from there. Or maybe it's one shop and you have somebody who does the whole thing. Or maybe it's somebody that has, hires a store manager and then they like to do the community outreach and the marketing and, work within the community and stuff like that. It's, the general role of the franchise owner is customer sales and marketing, customer service, customer retention. I mean, that's what the McDonald's franchise owner does essentially. They also do delivery of services. Well, sort of. I mean, they heat up the nuggets, that kind of thing. All with lots of help and support from corporate. But it's your company. You can set it up the way you want. It doesn't really matter. And so usually what you do is people set it up so that they do the things that they like and they avoid the things that they don't like. That's usually the best way to do it. The other reason that's a good way to do it is because most of the time the things that you like are the things that you're good at. So it actually works out pretty well. So Aiden started talking about this, the customer acquisition strategies, but we've got out of the gate within the franchise, operating documents and training and all that kind of stuff. We've got 5 funnels, and 4 of them are remote, so there's no, personal interaction required, right? and you're looking for free traffic, organic search engine traffic by ranking for long tail keywords. And don't worry if you know what any of that is, but and then Aiden gave you this example of imagine if you could do all the things that Aiden talked about, which you can with the software from being a franchise owner. Being able to create value and interact with customers in an automated way, get them into the top of your funnel, give them something of value, and then convert them through a series of communications that are all automated. It works. It works really, really well, and it's highly converting. So you can kind of sit back and pour stuff in the top of the funnel and get sales. Okay. For sure, mailings. Again, you're doing very This is super, super targeted, and direct mail kind of stuff is actually making a huge comeback. We actually just did this for one of our other companies, because what's happening is people are getting, they get sort of email fatigue, and nobody gets any real mail anymore. So now people are, I swear this is true. Marketing doesn't really change much. The delivery mechanisms change, but you can go back to a newspaper, 300 years ago. Well, wait, did they have newspapers 300 years ago? Let's say 100 years ago. I don't remember. And you can find in like the section where you could post stuff, you can find long-form sales letters. And they're super similar to long-form sales letters of today. So marketing tactics work. And our team does it for you. You don't have to worry about the delivery of the services. It's all done through our, portal, for the franchise owner portal. And we have teams all around the world, dedicated staff. We've invested so much time and energy and focus in this. It's quite an operation. And I want to make sure I'm crystal clear on this, okay? Because I've confused people in the past. So let me be crystal clear on this. So when you buy into a franchise, like McDonald's, it's $1 million. Like I don't remember what all of them are. Subway is like 110,000, or maybe that's Chick-fil-A. So they all tend to be fairly expensive. Now, when they're brand new, like I doubt the first McDonald's was $1 million because they were new. They didn't have a big track record. They had a one-store track record, essentially, right? So we feel like if we were to sell a franchise to someone on the open market like McDonald's did, we would probably charge $7,500. But we're going to do this differently, because what we're doing is we've got Parallel Profits as our training program, our Hamburger University that teaches you all of this stuff. And there is an investment required for that, but it's going to include essentially a coupon, which makes your franchise cost zero. Okay, which is again, back to that opportunity slide with Steve Jobs. That's why this is such an amazing opportunity, that you have never seen anything like this before. Bottom line is, the whole reason to do franchises and the whole reason why they have that incredibly successful track record, right, is because it gets rid of the guesswork and all the heavy lifting, and it just makes your success darn near inevitable, right? I mean, you can see it in the statistics of the success rate. So absolutely.
So guys, give us some feedback in the question box. Have we made this pretty clear? I mean, we tried to go over the way that we capture our leads and how we then convert them into sales. But I want you to give me a yes in the question box if you can more or less understand. Maybe there's a few the intricate workings that you don't quite understand yet. But the important thing is you understand it from a 10,000-foot view. So give me a yes in the question box if from the 10,000-foot view it makes sense. It's really, really important that you know that that you understand all of this before we continue here. Okay, awesome. Lots of yeses rolling. Okay, good. Awesome. Thank you. So what this can do for you, it can eliminate money problems forever. It can give you, unlimited family time. We've shown you how you can earn thousands and thousands of dollars from one sale, and you can make that sale in a matter of days, not weeks or months. And when you get that kind of money, it frees up all kinds of things. So it allows you to choose what you want to do. Do you want to keep working in your day job if you work one? Do you want to quit that and focus on this? Do you want, and if you're retired, you can absolutely do this. You can be your own boss, work from home. Give your kids the opportunities, to step in as well. Ultimately, you get financial freedom, location freedom, and time freedom. So what I want to do right now is I want to go through the different modules that we've got here. And the first one is the Master Blueprint. This is core start to finish training designed to fast track you to expert level. This is the A to Z guide for each part of the system, and it's how to set everything up in record time. So there's covert sales training built into this. There's lots of inner circle marketing secrets, things we've picked up in actually running this business for 15 years, including how to get hyper-organized with your finances, with your workflow. And this will be delivered through weekly workshops, videos, and manuals inside a members area that you're going to have lifetime access to. The second component here is the lead accelerator. And we've spoken a little bit about leads and how they come into the funnel. And acquiring leads is a critical part of the business. So we're not only going to teach you how to do it and give you access to the tools and things that we use, but we'll also give you batches of targeted leads. Okay, and again, it's in our best interest to do that because when you succeed with this, we also succeed with this. Okay, so we've got 5 proven email funnels that you'll get. We've got a whole Rolodex of ninja tools and services that we use, and the amazing embed tool as well. And then the next thing is the engagement engine. This is another part of the automated machinery that goes on behind the scenes. And this is one of the really cool things that I like about this is that you can be, surfing in Australia while you're, converting your leads into customers, thanks to the engagement engine. It's a sophisticated communication tool, which means that it does all the heavy lifting for you in a very strategic way. And we've got done for you email sequences, which you'll plug into it. And these things are just the tip of the iceberg. And then the instant asset machine. You might be wondering, we spoke about how you would capture leads, but where are those leads going? Well, they're going to a website. We've got highly credible website designs that you'll be able to use, brochures, business cards, mail shots, your very own fully functional landing page, and all of these things will be provided for you. Okay, so again, we're removing any of the potential obstacles. We're making sure everything is set up right so that you can focus on one thing and one thing only, and that's driving leads into the top of your funnel. The delivery hub is how you're going to actually deliver these services. Okay, so and what it's going to do is it's actually going to allow our team to deliver it for you. So you sell a service, you get paid, you submit the work to the delivery hub, and then our team delivers. Simple. We do all of it for you. You get automatic progress updates every step of the way. And by the way, the entire billing system is built into this, so you don't need to worry about PayPal or Stripe or anything like that. The value here is massive, and more will be added over time. You also get access to the private community for Parallel Profits members, where we'll be, if you've been in any of our communities in the past, you'll know that a lot of people are sharing good tips, and we're in there every single day. It's going to be another support avenue, and then specialist support as well. But this is a little bit different to anything we've done in the past. Not only are you getting email-based support, which is manned 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, you're also going to have the ability to get on the phone with us sometimes. So let's say a couple of months from now your business is doing $15,000 a month, things are going really well, then it's in our best interest to help you get to $30,000 a month, because when you make more money, we make more money. So what are we going to do? One of us or one of our team might pick up the phone and we'll book a call and we'll have a call with you. So that's the kind of specialist support that you get with the way that we've structured it. And here you can see a full recap of all the different components in the program, and hopefully we've done a good job in showcasing the value of those in the small amount of time that we've got here. Every single one of these things is key to your success, okay? And I think we've absolutely nailed every single one of them. But let's not lose track of the aim, and that was to hit $100,000 profit with just 7 customers, and then keep scaling that from $100,000 to $300,000 and beyond. And a $1 million business is within reach. Because if you just look at the math here, if you're doing $1,200, on average for a customer, and that's recurring, then you can get there from just 65 sales. I don't know a single other business that is as lucrative as this. You could sell physical products, you might make $10 a sale. 65 sales, you make $650. Maybe you're selling an affiliate product, making $100 a sale. Still only going to put you at $6,500. Doesn't even get close. It's not even the same realm as what we're talking about here. So hopefully you can see the benefits. You can see that what you're selling is a high-quality product or service that is in huge demand. Give me a yes in the chat box if you can see that there's a clear path to customers, and in fact that many of the customers will actually come to you. Give me a yes if you can see that this business model is not going anywhere. It's got true longevity. Now, over a long period of time, maybe some of the things that you're using to the services that you're offering are going to change. But the principles remain the same. And you get recurring income every month by gathering repeat buyers who will keep on paying for months, even years on end automatically. And, one story just to really emphasize this. We've got a limousine company that are one of the sales that we made 8 years ago, and they're still paying us month in, month out. So some important information. Some people cannot be franchisees. Now, initially, we can only offer franchises in the United States, UK, Canada, Australia, and New Zealand, and this is just for legal reasons. We would love to do it in every single country, but for legal reasons, we've got to jump through a lot of hoops. We've got to set up special companies in each one of these countries. There's a lot of legal implications for us, and they're the 5 countries that we're launching into. And if you don't live in one of these countries, don't panic. You can still participate in this. We will still guide you every step of the way. In fact, we've got special training just for you if you're not in one of those countries. You will need your own brand name and domain name. We'll train you on all of that, and we will still give you everything that you need to succeed, and we will still support you every step of the way. And look, if we have enough people from your country jump in, then we'll just create a franchise company there. But the point is, whether you're going this alone because you want to do it on your own, whether you're not in one of those 5 countries, whether you are, we will support you every step of the way. Now, you might be wondering, what is your territory? Your territory is centered around the zip code or postal code where you live. It's easier to begin making sales in your own local area, and we know from experience that this is the fastest way to hit the initial goal of $100,000 profit run rate. Now, you may be able to expand to additional territories later, but to hit $100,000 profit per year run rate, one territory in the location where you live is more than sufficient. Now, this is a really, really key point, okay? Your territory is not your zip code or postcode. It could be multiple zip codes or just a fraction of one of them. It depends on business density. So you might be, wondering, well, where I live, I can't do this because I live in a small town or rural community. Look, you're not at a disadvantage at all because, again, your territory is not your zip code. It can be the surrounding area as well, sometimes multiple zip codes. Territories are based on business density, not on population. Nearby towns and cities will fall into your territory if you live in a small rural area. And at the other end of the spectrum, you might be thinking, well, I can't do this because I live in a big city. Competition will be too tough. It's just not true. The way that we market this, the way that we capture sales, you're in a blue ocean. You're not fighting tooth and nail with some other agency down the road. It's just not the way we do this. So it's going to be a complete non-issue. So I want to give you some perspective right now. This was the first thing that Steve did when he quit his job in 2003. We've got 15 years of experience, over 32,000 hours worth of experience. We've invested millions into building this business to where it is today, millions into the marketing campaigns and resources that we've perfected that you're going to have access to. Over $100,000 in legal fees to make this available to you. We've spent hundreds of thousands to build a full-time team so that we can offer this to you. And here's some more perspective. You could invest in McDonald's for $1 million or in Subway for $110,000. And they would give you earnings of somewhere between $50,000 to $60,000 per year. It's just not in the same realm, and the barrier to entry is enormous. Now, what we're doing here is the most heavily vetted, most regulated business that we have ever shared with anyone. And that's good news for you. A franchise is not like a training program. You can't just dream one up one day to the next and then sell it. There's an enormous amount of work and scrutiny that goes into it before you can get that far. This is extremely limited, guys. We opened the doors to this a few days ago, and we're getting very close to closing the doors. Our territories are being snapped up all the time. In fact, we've had people emailing us telling us that their territory is gone. And when that happens, that's it. I mean, we can't do anything. We can only support so many franchisees. Our team and our infrastructure is limited. Our personal time is being invested here. So we're limited to the number of people that we can actually help. And we will shut down when we hit capacity. We've already started the training, and we'll be closing soon. We had the first training session today, actually. We're going to be shutting this down very, very soon. So you might be wondering, what's the required investment? $110,000. That's what you could spend to buy yourself a Subway franchise, and you'd be lucky to make $50,000 a year. So I think you'd agree that in the real world, if this was an established business, $110,000 could quite easily be justifiable. But we can do even better, $12,000. You see, for the past 5 years, we've offered access to this kind of partnership opportunity and unique insider information at a price tag of $12,000 per year. We've partnered with many of the people who have had that access and helped them build 6- and 7-figure businesses. So therefore, it makes sense to offer parallel profits to you at a one-time investment of $12,000. And if all that does is get you to the point where, let's say you've got 4 sales, 4 customers, they could be throwing you off a profit, a side income of $4,800 per month, because that's how this works, month after month after month. Maybe you'll land a limousine company like we did 8 years ago, and they'll keep paying you for the next 8 years. Would that be worth paying $12,000 for? Hopefully you can see that it would, but we can do even better, because you can get access today for one payment of $2,497. Look, we stand to benefit here by having more successful franchisees partner with us, because when you succeed, we succeed. So we wanted to lower the barrier to entry as much as we possibly could, and that's why we've got this payment structure in place. 3 payments of $997 or a one-time payment of $2,497. You can go to that link that you can see on the screen there right now to jump in, enter your zip code or postcode to check to see if there's any available territory in your area. Reserve your territory today, make your investment, and get started right now. Now, something I want you to know, when you go to that page, and guys, can you let me know if you're going to that page to jump in right now, let me know that you're in the process of jumping in, because we do have some special bonuses, which I'm going to share with you for the first 20 people that jump in here. But when you go to that page, you're going to see this form at the top. It says, do you want to partner with us? Now, if you're in the United States, the UK, Canada, Australia, or New Zealand, you can select yes. If you're not in one of those countries, then just select no. It doesn't mean that you're never going to be able to partner with us. It just means that you're going to bypass the zip code verification filter that the other 5 countries do have. So if you're outside those 5 countries, select no, and then you can proceed to purchase. If you are in one of those countries and you want to become a franchise, which is definitely what most people are doing, then select yes, enter your country, and enter your zip code. Now, if your zip code is available, it's going to tell you that you can proceed. If your zip code is not available, it's going to tell you that you cannot proceed because it's gone. And if you enter an incorrect zip code, it's going to tell you that it's incorrect. So please go ahead and jump into that right now. If you have any questions while you're doing that, just let us know. If it comes back and says that your zip code is gone, then please let us know right now, so we might be able to help you out in some way. Important to know that you've got a 100% money-back guarantee here, so you've got 60 days to test this thing out for yourself. We are completely tied to your success. It's the first time we've ever been able to do that with any of our programs. So, when you succeed, we're going to succeed. Okay, so that's a critical difference that we've got this time around. Okay, now what we really want you to do is to make a fully informed decision. And we've tried to give as much information as we could over the past hour, but there's still going to be more things that you're going to want to find out. That's inevitable. Even if we were talking to you about this for 5 hours, there'd still be unanswered questions that you might have. The only way that you can truly make a fully informed decision is to jump on in and make your decision once you're on the inside. Now, it doesn't matter if you change your mind 59 minutes from now, 59 days from now. You can contact us. We will give you your money back. No questions asked. But you need to jump in to be able to make that fully informed decision. It's a little bit like buying a house, you know. You can't make a fully informed decision until you're inside the house and looking around. And that's what we're doing here. So we're encouraging you, look, just take the leap of faith and reserve your decision for later. And you can jump in right now using the link that you can see on the screen. Don't wait any longer to sign up. Territories are filling up fast and are only available on a first-come, first-served basis. We are very limited to the number of people that we can actually help out. So you need to move fast or you will miss out. The registration period is ending soon. We've already had the first training, okay? And you're going to get the replay of that in the members area. If you visit the URL below and it says sold out, then that means you've missed out. If you wait just one more day here, you are risking missing out for a whole range of different reasons. Maybe someone else is going to snap up your territory. Maybe you're going to have a technical issue. Maybe something's going to happen and tomorrow you're not going to be able to sign up. So you need to jump into this right now, okay? Now, it's easy to get in. Just go to this URL that you can see on the screen there and jump in, okay? Now, I did mention that we've got some special bonuses for you, so I'm going to go through those very quickly here. And these are available for the first 20 people that jump in. If you have jumped in already, type I'm in, okay? If you're in the process of jumping in, type process into the question box. And the reason that I want to do this is because we're going to have to manually upgrade you once you're on the inside, okay? So I can see that Meryl, David, Douglas, Ronnie, Royce, Kevin, Brewster, Ken, Frank, Anthony, Nikita, Doug. Guys, once you are finished jumping in, just let us know that you're in. And what we do after this is we're going to download a chat log, and we're going to be able to see the names of the people that said they were jumping in, and we're going to be able to then manually upgrade you in the members area later to get the special bonus, which I'm about to share with you. Now, the special bonus that I'm going to share with you is broken into multiple different things here. So the first part of it is about the psychology of selling. Okay, now this is a presentation that I gave at our $12,000 mastermind, and we've never ever given this as a bonus before. But the psychology of selling, that's a 1-hour presentation, enormously valuable. Everything I've learned over the past 10 or 15 years through first-hand experience. So you're going to get that. You're going to get the 2019 social media blueprint, and you're also going to get the third thing that you're going to get there is 10 business growth hacks. Okay, so you'll get those 3 things if you're in the first 20 people, and I can see that it looks like, 14, 15, 16 people have jumped in. You know what, we're actually going to make it the first 30 people because too many people are jumping in too fast here, and I don't want anyone to miss out, okay? Now, that's not all, because we do have some other exclusive bonuses that everyone is going to get, and these take the value to a whole new level. The first is the Secret Mastermind. This is a secret mastermind session, which it's actually going to be a series of 3 live workshops that we'll be running after the main training's been completed. And in them, we're going to put a couple of our different businesses under the microscope. We're going to be sharing sensitive information. And because of that, we may actually require that you sign a non-disclosure agreement, okay, just because of the type of information that's been shared. And we're going to be, everything here is focused around boosting your sales and profits, okay? The second bonus is Parallel Profits Live. You will get all access admission to Parallel Profits Live, a private live-streamed 2-day event which will reveal a further series of inner circle secrets that will show you how to take your business to the next level. So we're going to have guest speakers, student case studies, live question and answer sessions, and much, much more. This is 2 days of 100% content. There's not going to be anything sold or anything like that here. The value of this alone is $4,997, and the things that you're going to be learning in this live event are things that you're going to be able to apply to any other business that you might already have. Now, the final bonus here is also tremendously valuable, and that's a series of videos all about scaling. So specifically how to take your business from $100,000 per year to $300,000 to $1 million and beyond. Now, scaling a business and managing its expansion can be very, very challenging, but it's something that we've got very good at over the years. We've built 6 multi-million-dollar businesses, so we've been through the scaling process multiple times, okay? And here you can see the full recap of everything you're getting there. And don't delay, guys. Jump in right now. We're going to take some questions, but look, don't wait for us to stop talking, okay? Just go ahead and jump in. You can see the link on the screen there. Go through that, jump in, and let us know once you're on the inside. You will get those 3 special bonuses I mentioned, the psychology of selling, the 10 business growth hacks, and the 2019 social media blueprint, okay? So if you're jumping in right now, just let us know once you are in. If you've got a question, and look, so a lot of you have actually already had some information about parallel process prior to coming here. So, and there's still hundreds and hundreds of people on the call. So here's what I want you to do. If there's some question that you need to get answered, and this is a burning question, I want you to type fence in big capital letters and then put the reason why you're on the fence. Okay, because there's hundreds of people here and you are here for a reason. So I'm guessing that there's something that you don't know, or you've got some doubt in your mind about something. And I want to make sure that that we can help you out. So just make sure that you type the reason that you're on the fence as well. So Monchamp, you're an online marketing classroom member. You can go inside the online marketing classroom members area and you'll see the message that we've got there for you. Steve, do you want to start taking some of the questions here? And I'll just reply to, who was it? Neil says, how long to get my first client? Neil, I'm going to show you a 60-day roadmap in just a second after we've taken some questions. But sure. Right now, Steve, I don't know if there's some that you've got highlighted or some that you can see in the chat box there.
Yeah. No, I've been collecting a few of them. We've been answering them, but there's some that are kind of repeat. Bunch of people asking about upsells. Are there any upsells once you invest and get in? There are absolutely zero. We never do that, and we certainly haven't done it now. So there's no hidden costs at all. There are some people asking, can we do this with a partner? And the answer is yes. And we always think that's a really great idea anyway. And there's all sorts of different ways that can flesh out. So for now, the easiest way to just answer that is yes, you can do it with a partner. It's recommended for sure. And so jump in. Absolutely. People are asking about how much time is required. And we've got people who want to know if they can do this part-time. We've got some stay-at-home moms, all that kind of thing. And absolutely, this is something that can be done part-time. Honestly, the guys that are, making a full-time living at it are still not working full-time. So, yeah, and we recommend somewhere around, for most people, 3 to 4 hours a week. Maybe some will reach 5 to 10, but that's kind of the order of magnitude of how much time it takes. There were a few questions about, okay, I don't understand, why do you need us if this is so easy, and why do you need franchise partners? Why do you need us? So, one way to answer that question is why does McDonald's do it? They're a $22 billion company. They probably don't need any help. And the reason is there's 3 reasons why we are doing this. One is that it's a great way to grow and scale a business. It brings in, all new people that have different viewpoints and ideas, and basically increases the intellectual property of the brand, But it's a fantastic way to scale a business to a global company. So we want to do that. The second thing is that what we've realized over all this time that we've been doing this is that the customers convert better, and it's easier to retain them. They stay for much longer if there's some sort of geographic connection to either the owner or the sales rep that the owner has running the business for them, that kind of thing. And it doesn't have to be like they're the next door neighbor. It could just be like they're in the town or the city or the state or even the tri-state area, or just something, anything, as opposed to having like somebody in Wyoming having their work done by somebody who quote unquote lives in Miami or something. And again, it doesn't mean you have to actually be there, right? Because you could just be hanging out on the beach in Miami, but you have a home in Wyoming, or you have whatever. This sort of thing gets you second home opportunities and all that sort of thing. So anyway, but at the end of the day, a local connection is strong as it relates to customer acquisition and turnover. And then finally, there's the feel-good reason, the group hug reason, that we just really think this is the best way that we can have the biggest impact on the most amount of people. And we think it's life-changing, and it's nothing that anybody's ever offered before. And the reason they've not offered it before is because it's ridiculously expensive and complex to do. But we did it. Let's see. Initial budget people are asking about, okay, great. So I invest in Parallel Profits. I understand that in order to become a franchise owner, there isn't any additional charge for that. But what other costs are there? Well, darn close to zero. The closest I can get to zero. You're talking about, various sundry office supplies. We're talking about tens of dollars here, not even hundreds of dollars. So I'd like, it's as close to zero as you're ever going to get. There's still maybe a slight amount of confusion of, well, how do you make money? Asking me, how do I make money? How does the franchise company make money? And it's pretty straightforward. It is just like McDonald's. The McDonald's franchise owners, they buy the hamburgers from McDonald's, right, for 50 cents, and then they sell it for, $3 or whatever price they come up with. So same scenario here. You're gonna talk to a customer that wants a website, and maybe they want a 20-page website, and you've decided based on our price lists and our training and our coaching that you're going to price that at $1,000 because you control pricing. So you say, yeah, it's $1,000. Do 50% up front, 50% when it's completed. So they give you $500. You already knew, but you know that we charge, the franchise company charges $300 to do that service. So out of that first $500, you give the franchise company, us, $300. We then do the work, give it back to you. You deliver it to the client. You get the other $500. So you've collected $1,000 and you've given us $300. And for that $300, we are responsible for doing all the work, and we also need to make a small profit from that. So obviously our profit margins are much, much lower than yours, but that's okay. That's how the model works. We would do more volume, obviously. So that's all right. So that's how we make money. It's pretty straightforward. Let's see. Bunch of questions about people are concerned about, okay, well, do I need to run Facebook ads or any kind of paid advertising or anything like that? And you do not. You absolutely don't. So you don't have to worry about that. Do I need to create a U.S. company? Absolutely not, particularly if you're outside the United States. You definitely don't need to. I know other business models, it's very helpful if you have a U.S. company. This is not one of those business models. So it's not something that you have to really worry about, okay? So you don't need to worry about U.S. company. Even if you're in the U.S., you are going to have a company, but it can be something as simple as a sole proprietor, which is essentially having a company without having to do anything. It just happens from an accounting perspective. Let's see.
Hey, Steve, maybe I can, maybe what I'll do now is I'll go over the 60-day roadmap a little bit, and then we can take some more questions. I see some that have been flagged here, so I'll go through those. Now, this is the 60-day roadmap, and it's a rough guide to how we'll be progressing. So right now, we're at week 0, day 0, and all you need to worry about doing is securing your access, okay? So you can do that by jumping in, using the link that you see on the screen right there. And once you're on the inside, we're going to start training. So the first training session is already there available to you, where we're giving you an overview about the business. And in the next training session, we're going to be talking about the business plan, getting things set up, giving you more information about franchise, and we'll get into the really fun stuff after that. So the marketing execution plan and sales magnet setup. That's going to happen around about week 2, week 3. And once you've done that, you'll be able to start making sales, making dollars, and, reaping the rewards and starting to build your passive income out of this. And then we get into, week 5, 6, 7, and 8, where we're training you on how to deliver the different services, how to run the business day to day, the simple accounting strategies that we use. And none of this, I don't want you to be daunted by anything like this. We're going to walk you through it every step of the way. And the beauty about this business is that you can earn while you learn. Okay, so I did see someone in there saying, how long is it going to take to make my first sale? Well, you're probably looking around about the 3 to 4 week mark potentially. But once things are up and running, once you've got the initial setup done, the foundation laid, I mean, it can be literally within 1 or 2 days. And, we've shared some stories already. Here's another one. This is Adrian in Las Vegas. And he continues to do it as a side gig. So you don't even have to give up what you're doing. Like he's a passionate video production guy. And he started doing this when his video production freelance company took a bit of a nosedive. And he started doing this. Now he keeps on doing it. So it can complement whatever you've got going on. We spoke about the sale in depth, $4,050. That's a recurring sale. We shared how Chad's done over $187,000 in 2018, how Claudia did over $29,000 in January. This business stacks up so well compared to anything online, okay? And the growth potential is enormous. We're talking about making a couple of sales, which are going to give you a couple of $1,000s of recurring revenue month after month after month. And even if you only did half of that, and not just half of the number of sales, but half of the sale value. So let's say you only did $750 a month, or $750 was the sale value, instead of more like $1,500, and just one sale a month. You're still building a really lucrative business here. So I'm going to recap what you're getting here for one last time, okay? So if you are, and look, if you've decided that you want to jump in, go ahead and jump in. You don't have to wait for me to stop talking here. And a couple of people did try to jump in and they had issues, and now we're able to help them out because we're still on the workshop. But if you wait until the end and then you try to jump in and you have some issue, we're not going to be able to help you out, okay? So you can listen to me talking. I'm going to go through the different components one last final time here, and then we will wrap this up, okay? And by the way, looking at the special bonus pack that we put together, we've had 26 people jump in. There are 4 spots left. If you're going to be one of those last 4, then just type process, and I'll read out some of the names of the people that have jumped in, okay? So I'll do that just a second here. I want to recap these components first. So type process if you're in the process of jumping in. Type I'm in if you're already in and you haven't told us already. So Nitra is in process. Johnny is in process. Elena says she's in. Okay, and so James, Donna, guys, let me know once you've finished jumping in so that we can make sure that you're part of that bonus. Now, the master blueprint. This is core component number 1. This is the start to finish training designed to fast track you to expert level. This is an A to Z guide for each part of the system. Shows you how to set everything up in record time. We've got lots of different secret training systems built into there, things we've learned over the past 15 years. And it's all delivered to you through weekly workshops, videos, and manuals inside the members area. The lead accelerator is key. Remember, it all starts with the traffic. I spoke about that earlier in this workshop where we spoke about the traffic and how the traffic is going to turn into sales, and the lead accelerator is a big part of that. Now, in addition to training you and giving you tools that you'll be able to use to generate leads, we're also going to be giving you batches of done-for-you targeted leads. And the reason we want to do this is because it's in our best interests. And also, if the leads that we acquire from our own marketing campaigns are not in our area, then we can't sell them the services ourselves anyway. So it makes more sense that we pass them off to you. The engagement engine is number 3. This is an automated suite of engagement tools, really, really powerful, great suite of tools here. And this is the thing that will automate so much of everything behind the scenes. And it will do most of the sales conversions for you. And what we've spoken about here with the engagement engine is just the tip of the iceberg. You're also getting the instant asset machine. This is the thing that will give you a professional portfolio of highly credible marketing tools, things like a website, brochure, business cards. These things can make all the difference. And they're all going to be provided for you. And then there's the delivery hub. I mean, this thing here is just a game changer, because it means that once you get a customer, you don't have to do any further work. We will do it for you. And it doesn't matter what country you're in. You'll be able to use the delivery hub, okay? So even if you're not in one of those 5 countries that I mentioned, United States, Canada, the UK, New Zealand, and Australia, you're still going to be able to use the Delivery Hub and every other thing that we're talking about here. Automatic progress updates that get passed on to you. You can then pass them on to your customer, and job done. You pocket the money. And not only does it do that, but it gives you the entire billing system as well. So no need to worry about PayPal or Stripe or anything else like that. You're also getting the private community, and you're getting specialist support every step of the way. So some of the most common questions or comments that I'm getting here is, this one is huge. It's a big investment. And look, I get it. It's definitely not chump change at all. And, money might be tight. But let's look at the facts. Access to this costs $2,497 or 3 payments of $997. And for a lot of people, you see a number like that, and the knee-jerk reaction is just to say that you can't afford it. But that's not always true. And I'm going to give you an extreme example here. Let's say that you just found out that you needed to pay, emergency surgery to save your little finger from falling off. And it was going to cost you $2,497, and you had to do it today, otherwise tomorrow your little finger was going to fall off. I'm pretty sure that you would find a way to get that money together and you'd be able to get in. So the real question is, are you willing to do what it takes to get in? And it might mean that you need to really bend over backwards, get creative, find a partner, whatever it takes. Now, another thing that we hear sometimes is, I don't think I'll have the time to do it, because maybe you're already busy. And that is an excuse. Everyone has time. I know for a fact, I know this about you. You have time to do the things that you prioritize. And if you want to, you can get up an extra 15 minutes earlier each day and get this machine rolling. It's not a time-intensive business because you can hand off so much of the heavy lifting to us. Okay? And another thing that you might need to do is be resourceful. If it's not easy to get in, just figure out a way. Where there's a will, there is a way. Okay? This is something that can save you thousands of hours of trial and error. It can get you hitting the ground running faster than ever before, and it's within your grasp right now. One thing that a lot of people think, they think that time or money are the obstacles. But time and money are not obstacles. They're not the real obstacles. The real obstacle that gets most people is the opportunity. 7.5 billion people on planet Earth. A tiny, tiny, tiny number of them are going to see this opportunity, but you are. You're seeing it, you're here right now. Now, this is another thing that is just disastrous, the when-then trap. It's absolutely disastrous because people wait until their situation is perfect for anything in life, but I'm telling you, that is a mistake. Waiting does not get you where you need to be. Waiting gets you nothing. In fact, waiting actually makes something worse because the longer you don't do something, the worse the current situation gets, or the more opportunity that you've missed. What gets you something in life? And I've seen this through all the different millionaires I know, the successful people I know who've got businesses. The difference is attitude, and the main thing there is action. So don't keep on waiting. Waiting around is a road to failure, okay? So if you want to jump in, you need to jump in right now or you will miss out. And you know something else? I know that you could figure this out for yourself. And you might be surprised to hear me say that. But I know that you could figure this out for yourself, but it would take you a couple of years. This is a simple business, right? The thing that would take you longest to figure out are the things that you should not do. But we can fast forward your learning curve here. Trial and error is the worst way to learn. We're giving you everything, our processes, templates, systems, and even the opportunity to partner with us in a way whereby we only benefit when you do well. So yeah, you could take a couple of years out of your life to try to learn this and do it on your own, but why would you want to do that? Now it's an opportunity to jump in. Now, I want to talk to you a little bit about the pricing paradox. You see, access to this opportunity is not cheap. I get it, okay? And The best things in life are almost never cheap. They always require some effort, either financial effort, time effort, or both. And cheap things, or things that come too easily, are almost never very good. Now, when deciding on creating parallel profits, we were faced with one of two choices. The first was to create a solution that catered to as many people in the market as possible. And you're probably familiar with this kind of approach. We could have made a glorified PDF, something like that. This is something that almost everyone else does. And we could have done this, and we could have, sold it at a price of $50 or $100. It would be easily accessible. The second option we had, though, was to not start with the price, but to focus on the value. And if we wanted to put every advantage we could in your favor to make sure that your success was virtually inevitable, and to really go, the way of giving you so much value that it would be impossible for anything other than life-changing success to turn up in your life, what would that look like? The problem with the second approach is that it immediately turns most of the market off, who only care about results. However, can you see the kind of advantage that it gives us? We can truly engineer a one-of-a-kind solution that you can't get anywhere else from anyone else. Because we started with the question of what would it take to succeed? And then we devoted all of our resources to that answer. And then we figured out how to get it to you in the most economical way possible. This offer isn't for the hobbyist or the person who just has a slight desire to get ahead in life. This is for the serious individual. And look, if you're listening to this, and there's hundreds of people here right now, I think you probably know who you are. If this message, if you've got that little voice inside you and there's some feeling inside you that says that this is an opportunity for you, then I'm talking to you. This is for the serious individual. You know who you are, and you're not going to let a price tag get in the way of freedom from a life of mediocrity. Yes, the entrance price is a little bit more today, but what we can give you in return is huge, a lot more. And isn't that what's more important? Again, you can't even compare this to anything anyone else has done in the past. What you're getting is ground floor access to this opportunity, all of the training to participate in a real franchise as a partner with us. Believe me, once you're on the inside, once you're working through this, you will see the difference immediately. Okay? And of course, the other option at your disposal is just to do nothing. And that's easy. Anyone can do that. Don't take the leap of faith. Don't invest in parallel profits. Settle for what you've got right now, and you'll get what you've always got. And maybe you'll be happy with that. But ask yourself, is that really what you want? Most people I know are always looking to get ahead in life. They're looking to get ahead, have more money, have more time, have more freedom, be able to afford the little luxuries. And I'll tell you what, to be able to do something more than what you've got right now, you need to do something different. So your second choice is to pony up for this little investment. And I did say little deliberately because that's what it is when you compare it to the value that you get in return. You just have to give yourself a shot here. And if it works out, you keep it. And if not, then we'll give you your money back. So either way, you've invested in yourself. You've given yourself a chance. But if you do nothing, then you're not going to get that chance. Okay? But you have to jump in right now. Guys, if you are in the process of jumping in, we're going to be shutting this workshop down in a couple of minutes here. If you have just jumped in while I've been talking or in the process of jumping in, please just let me know. We need to know where we're at with this. Violet said she's in. If you're still in the process, let us know. I want to make sure that anyone who wants to get in is in before we finish up this call. Kevin says he's jumping in. Nitra is in. I've got your name on the list, Nitra. Thanks for that. Robert says, when's the first training? The first training actually has already happened today. And you'll get a replay of that once you're on the inside. And the next training is happening in a few days' time. So parallel profits can condense your learning curve from years into just a few weeks. You can see the link on the screen there. We're going to work you through our simple 3-step system. You're getting everything that you could possibly need to succeed. And you know what? You deserve this. So many other people get ahead online. This online dream is a reality. This online thing is a reality. It's not some, fantasy. This is something you can absolutely do. And the best thing about the model that we're talking about here today, and this is unlike some other online models, is that your talent or ability means nothing, okay? It's about the process. And it can be something that's 100% private to begin with if you want to. If you want to create this business, set it up, get sales coming in without anyone knowing that it's your business, you don't have to tell anyone about this. No one's going to know that you're starting a business. So if you're worried about what your friends and family are going to think, just don't even worry. You don't even have to tell them. And what's the worst that could happen here? If nothing changes, then nothing changes. Another year will slide by. January is in the books at this stage. It's still not too late to make 2019 your best year ever. But you need to take action now. We're finishing this workshop in about 2 minutes' time here. And, I often ask myself when I'm considering a new opportunity, something that I'm a little bit nervous about, what's the worst that could happen? And in this instance, you've got zero financial risk. You've got a 100% 60-day guarantee. The only thing you need to invest is some time. And believe me, it's time well spent building a real business that could be paying you for many years to come. This is the opportunity that you've been waiting for. This is an opportunity that doesn't come around every day. We've never, ever done this. This is the most unique and special program and opportunity that we have ever released since we started teaching people about online businesses 10 years ago. And we are pumped up about it. A lot of people won't jump in because they're afraid. And sometimes fear is disguised as something different, But what you need to do is you need to go outside your comfort zone to find that magic. Because when you go outside the comfort zone, that is truly when the magic happens. Okay, so guys, Steve, what other questions have we got there? Have we got some other questions that we might want to take here before we wrap it up? And I think you might be muted, Steve.
Sorry, I was on mute. Sorry about that.
No worries.
Let's see. Yeah. Let me take a quick peek through the list that we've been knocking off here. There have been some questions about, what if I move, later on? It's definitely not a problem. I mean, there's going to be all sorts of options available to you. I mean, you could run it remotely. You could, because you still have the connection, I used to live there, that sort of thing. You could hire a salesperson or an office manager type person. You could sell it. You could then open a different territory where you're going. You could open a second territory where you're going. Ultimately, we will definitely allow that. So I think the thing to think about is that, or the answer is you should never have to worry about that. Let's see. Answered the paid ad ones. Answered that one. There's a bunch of people that are just, still concerned about the whole, do I have to speak to people, sort of face to face? You don't. This is not a business where, you're expected to have to walk around Main Street with business cards in your back pocket and knock on doors and bother people and show up unannounced and all that kind of thing. It's not an effective marketing strategy for the most part. Nor is it expected that you're going to be out there cold calling. It's just, again, also not a very effective strategy. So, Aiden talked about it. I showed one. He showed one. We talked about the different ways you could do it sort of on an automated basis. I'm telling you that this population segment is so underserved, and so ready for help that it's like going out and fishing and the fish just jump in the boat. I mean, it really is that way. And you know what? All you have to do is, I'm sure that a small business owner. Most people do. I mean, they're everywhere. They employ 80-90% of the workers in the world. Just ask any one of them, hey, how you doing in digital marketing? And I guarantee the answer is going to be like, I don't know what I'm doing. I need help. I don't know. I really have no idea. My brother-in-law's bothering me that he could do a website. I don't want that. I don't know whether I should be tweeting. I have no idea what I'm doing with Facebook. I mean, they all sing the same tune. They're just absolutely desperate for it. We got questions about, will this work outside the USA? Yes, absolutely. Plus, we have franchises in Canada, Australia, New Zealand, UK. But even as a non-franchise, you can operate in any country, and you can still avail yourself of the services. And we do have we are actually rolling out, non-English versions of the services as well. I think that's all I have on my list, Aiden, that people have been asking here.
Okay, so guys, I'm gonna put it over to you guys one more time. If you've got a question that you absolutely need answered right now, I want you to type question in big bold letters. Well, not bold because I don't think you have that option, but big capital letters. Type question and then type what your question is. This is the last call, guys, and we're going to be shutting this down. Okay, so question and then actually type what the question is. Question, my biggest concern is being sued, not knowing much about this business, making a costly mistake. We're going to guide you every step of the way about that, Jim, and do not let that be the thing that stops you from jumping in, okay? We are going to guide you on that, what you can and can't do every step of the way. Bill's got a question. Does this include a website to help local companies find us, similar to what we'll be offering to our customers? Yeah, I mean, a little bit. I mean, if you're part of, if you are a franchisee, you'll have a page on the main franchise website, and we'll also show you other strategic websites that you'll set up, which is where your lead magnets will come into. So yeah, you will use websites which will help you. Actually, it'll help your customers find you, really. Neil, yes, you could absolutely do that. That's for Neil Collette. When will French be available? Karen, I don't know the answer to that question, I'm afraid. John says, I'm in, let's do this. What else do we have? Can I use the delivery hub for Italian and German? It depends which part of the delivery hub. Some things you will be able to use it for, others might not. But some things you will definitely be able to use it for. Ryan Magalang, the answer to yours is yes. Ken is asking a question about a partner. Yeah, Ken, you could partner with your brother in the way that you were discussing. You know, we're big advocates of partnership. Philip Williams, I can see your message here. And you have emailed us about that, so yes, I give you my word on that. Remember, guys, if you've got a question, type question in capital letters and then your question right after it so that I can actually find it. We've still got hundreds and hundreds of people here, so I just want to make sure that I don't miss it, okay? Rob is asking about some of the differences between franchise and non-franchise for the tools. So you'll still have access to all of the tools, Rob. I will have to double check about the first part of your question. I think it's going to be the same though, and there won't be much difference either way. Anthony says, I'm already in. What I need to know is there is no other outlay going forward apart from the brochures, business cards if you want them. Yeah, that's right, Anthony. There's no, that's why Steve said, you know, you need tens of dollars. Maybe you need to have $50 set aside for miscellaneous, but that's fine. Yep. Lynn says, where is the money back guarantee in print? Well, you can see it on my screen and I'm broadcasting this publicly. So I don't know what else I can really do there, Lynn. Like, at some stage, you just have to take our word for it. I mean, we've been doing this for over a decade, and we have never not honoured a guarantee, ever. And we've got a squeaky clean reputation, and our past students would vouch for us. So look, I mean, please, you can see it right there, and you can actually go to parallelprofits.com, and there you will see it in print. So in fact, you'll see it on print at the URL that you go to on that page. So Lynn, don't let that stop you, please. How will we find customers? That's a good question, Raju. We've got a series of different acquisition funnels that we're going to train you on. There's 6 main funnels, and we spoke about the process that those funnels use. We spoke about one of them a little bit earlier on today. But basically, we need to capture leads first, and we've got a couple of quite unique value-added strategies that we use for that. And then once we've done that, we use a strategic conversion mechanism, mainly via automated emails, actually. And that's how we convert the customers. Doug, great to have you in with us. Doug, you'll just have to contact support about that one. Just reading this a longer question here. Kevin says, I'm not sure how much interaction we will have regarding us giving clients information. So if they buy a website, how much revision talk will we be discussing with the client, or will the hub people discuss that with them? It varies depending on every contract, and don't worry about that right now, Kevin, but we'll talk you through it. Most contracts specify that a couple of revisions are available. The way that the communication is all sort of automatically funneled through those, so if the customer gives you a change request, then the way Delivery Hub works is that will automatically be able to be passed on to the people doing the work, so it's all streamlined for you. Christina says, can we add our other services along the way? Yes, and we will be showing you how to do that. Nicholas, yes, Nicholas, we can do that. That's Nicholas Coach Pramanis. Yes, the answer to that one is yes. So jump in, and once you're in, send us a email to support, and we will do that. Another one, are there any other costs after today? Nope. Maybe, as we said, $50 for miscellaneous, but there's no advertising, nothing like that, nothing major. Joe says, our clients will be reaching out to us with problems, right? Can you truly automate this? You can automate a lot of it, Joe, but keep in mind that we're not talking about having hundreds and hundreds of clients here. You start off with just a handful of them. So it's very low maintenance. Also, the services that we offer, one of the reasons that we choose the services that we offer is, one is because they've got great margins, but secondly is because they're the easier ones to fulfill, and we have less problems with them. And we've tried out, dozens of different services over the years. So there are things that can't be 100% automated, but the solution to that is having a team come on and help you out. So, when you're doing $150,000 per year, maybe you want to reinvest, $20,000 of that into a part-time employee or something. And we've got lots of different solutions, which we'll talk you through for that one, Joe. Hey, Tulia, great to have you in. Yeah.
I was just going to say, Sean has a really interesting question. How can we get set up with a partner such as our spouse? Do we both have to buy into this business? Absolutely not. You don't need to both buy Parallel Profits. What you do is you buy one, admission to Parallel Profits. You're then going to have a separate company, and again, it could be a sole prop, but in this case, if you want it with a partner, you're going to have your own company that can be owned by more than one person, and that company is going to be the franchise company. So you can set up the ownership or the partnership or whatever any way that you like, and the multiple owners of the franchise do not need to buy into Parallel Profits individually. Hopefully that makes sense, and I haven't completely confused Sean, but it's in summary, it's a good answer, I think. So.
Yeah. Neil, what do I need to do now? Neil, the only thing you need to do right now, the only thing you can do is jump in. There is no other option. It's either jump in or you decide that it's not for you. But we'd love to have you with us. And look, guys, I said this a while ago, but you can still change your mind. We've been doing this a long time, and if you decide this is not for you, that's fine. We're going to give you your money back. We're not going to have any hard feelings. We're not going to hold a grudge. We understand. And we want to work with people who want to work with us. So I'd say jump in, and I'm going to bring up the other screen that's got the full recap of everything that you're getting here. This one here, because a couple of people were talking about that. Is there client onboarding? Yep, and we show you exactly how that all works. I'm going to take 2 more questions, guys, and we'll wrap this up because we're approaching the 2-hour mark. What is the main thing you need us to do to be successful since you're already doing the heavy work? It's really just the start of the lead generation funnel, and that's something that we will train you extensively on, and it's something that is actually quite easy because we're targeting local territories. So that's putting leads into the top of the funnel, really. Guys, if you are still here, and there's still hundreds of people here, if you're already in, what I recommend you do is jump off this call now and go and explore the members area. Okay, so you don't need to stay any longer. You can leave this workshop and you can go and explore the members area. If you are still here, then you're here for a reason. Okay, if you're still on the fence, let us know. We're going to be shutting this down literally in just a couple of minutes here. But if you're on the fence, if you haven't jumped in, then now is the time to do it. I want to make sure that you don't have any issues in getting in. So if you go to that URL and for whatever reason you can't get in, please just let me know so that we can figure out what's going on. Peg, if you didn't hear from us about your members area access, send an email to support@parallelprofits.com. support@parallelprofits.com. And we'll reply to you, okay? Guys, this is one last call for you to go ahead and jump in right now. If you've decided that you're going to jump in, because we're not going to be presenting or taking more questions here, I don't think. If you've decided that you're jumping in, let me know just so that I can get your name here, and we're going to add you to the list of people that get those special bonuses. So just let me know if that is you, if you've decided that you are going to get in. You're not in yet, but you are going to get in. Type decided into the chat box so I can thank you, and I'll make sure that we upgrade you to the bonus. So James Smith, congratulations, buddy. Looking forward to working with you. Lewis, congratulations. Looking forward to working with you. Leslie says ordered. Anthony has decided. Mimi has decided. Sean decided. Rohan decided. Morag decided. Kevin decided, and I've purchased already. Jerome says he's decided. Melissa has decided. Mario has decided. Guys, thank you so much for hanging out with us here. Thank you for listening so attentively, participating. I think you've probably got some good stuff out of this training, and we certainly look forward to working with you on the inside. We're going to wrap this up right now. Don't delay, guys, because there is genuine scarcity here. There's genuine urgency because the territories are limited. The first training is in the books. We're going to be shutting this down to the public very soon, and then that's going to be it. Okay, guys? So thank you once again, and we look forward to seeing you all on the inside. We'll talk soon. Bye for now.